Untitled Stadium in Anaheim, California. This is one of the most prestigious stops of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship season. A win here is a highlight to any rider's year. The engines have fired, and the racers are ready to kick the bikes into gear. It's main event time in Southern California.
Hi guys, and welcome to the very first of our PlayStation 4 videos for Monster Energy Supercross, which releases in just a few days now.
The riders are lined up. The gate is about to drop. Who will get the whole shot?
So we are here at California. This is the Anaheim 1 Outdoor Stadium. The AI has been set to hard. I've got the rider weight set to manual. Joint brakes are off and the transmission is automatic. So short race. I didn't take part in the qualifying, hence starting in last position. And it's all about getting through as best you can for the first sort of half a lap. As you can imagine, it's pretty hectic with 21 other riders on track at once. So we're doing okay at the moment. We're into 5th place. Visually, you know, pretty stunning. I've got to say, it has moved on since MXGP3, which is good to see. In my opinion, the visuals are less muddy than MXGP3 as I go off the bike there. So there you go, that's just one example of how easy it is to come off the bike in normal mode, which is good to see. You know, we want to come off our bikes on the non-assisted mode, you know, should we get things wrong. So not carrying enough speed there, so I'm going to case this jump. Unfortunately, you can see it losing a bit of momentum. You can see that the AI are closing up on me, which is good. That's what we want to see. We want to be punished when we do things wrong, so that's all good. So through this right-hander then. Leaning back, getting some air, but we're offline and we've got to get back on now. You'll see when you do go off, you will get a respawn counter, counted down from 3, so you've got to get back on track within 3 seconds, which is excellent to see, because, you know, the instant sort of resets in the MXGP games, you know, did get quite annoying, so it's good to see that. Whether that's in online or not, I'm not too sure at this point, because I can imagine people probably taking advantage of that. So just coming off the throttle to get around here. Or a bit of contact with the side of the track there, which is a shame. It did mess me up on this particular jump. So you will get punished for little things, which is good to see. You know, it is a learning experience. I have been into the time attack mode to learn the basics of the track, but it's one thing learning the basics and quite another putting that knowledge into practice during a race when it's this hectic, especially on, you know, the AI on hard. There is one other setting harder than hard AI, and that's the simulation setting, which I may or may not show off in a future video. So a bit of a technical section this. As we get onto this right hander, very easy to get wrong. And again, just sending me wide there. So it's one of those games where you have to spend a lot of time within each single track, because, you know, each track demands a lot of attention to get right. So it does have a lot of longevity in that respect, and no doubt experienced players will get a decent challenge from the realistic AI, I'd imagine. So casing that jump there, which will mess me up for the next few jumps, and I will lose momentum accordingly, which is a good thing to see. And again, so you're not carrying enough speed over there. Normally I would hit that jump perfectly, but because I didn't carry enough speed, because, you know, the previous jumps were messed up, it did actually affect that particular jump as well. So it's all about keeping the speed up, keeping the momentum up. You can really attack this jump here, for example, and then coming off the throttle, so I don't over jump a second. A lot of jumps. Oh, as I go wide again, so again it's giving me the countdown timer to get back. Now, will I make this jump? Just about. So I've dropped down into 13th place. Again, just adjusting as we go, just coming off the throttle when I feel I need to, and back on when I feel it's best. But again, you know, it's going to be one of those games that it's reasonably easy to pick up and play, I'd say, particularly on the assisted setting, but extremely hard to master. So coming around this tight right-hander again, so slight leaning in there. You can see the bike sliding as we go into this left hand, a bit of front brakes and a bit of leaning going on here. Again, getting into a slide, and if you slide too much, you will come off your bike. so it is worth pointing out this is a lot trickier than it looks. So, and again, so yeah, I made this jump perfectly this time because I did have the momentum, whereas last lap didn't quite have the momentum, missed the jump and lost the time as a result, as I almost get it wrong there. So, you know, any bit of contact with the AI can send you out of your rhythm. So, you know, it is a pretty tough game to get to grips with. And this is actually the final lap. We'll show the replay in just a moment as well. And we will upload a non-commentary version of this along with some other videos on the Team VVV Games channel, as I just encountered a massive stutter there. So that's unusual. I'm not sure if that's the pyrotechnics setting off that stutter, but this is prior to the day 1 patch, so this is pretty much as good as work in progress footage at the moment. As I come off the bike there, that's a shame, so we're going to lose some places just before we cross the finish line, but we're going to show the replay off in just a moment. Right then, so here's the replay from the onboard helmet cam. This is actually playable in the game, and of course you've seen the GoPros on other videos that we've already published, and I will be checking out some GoPro replay action in future videos, so do stay tuned for that. And of course, like I said earlier, if you want to see some non-commentary versions of this footage, you can see that on the Team VVV Games channel, so do check that out. So the replay gives us a good opportunity to check out the visuals. You know, it's going to be a very, very difficult game to produce on a technical level, because of course you have this stadium around you which has to be rendered, you know, at least, you know, a quarter of the stadium at any one time. So technically I can imagine this is a bit of a nightmare for developers to keep the frame rates up. Of course this is running on the standard PlayStation 4 as well, so you know, it's outdated hardware, but I've got to say visually I'm very impressed with this. In particular, you know, the replays from the helmet cams. There is actually 2 sort of GoPro helmet cam replay options, which I will show off in future videos, so do stay tuned for that. And they do look very, very impressive, particularly when there's a wet track. I find the replays look absolutely incredible and look very true to real life, so it's excellent to see that. Of course, we don't have the GoPro perspective as a viewpoint for the races, but there is a first-person view, and of course, as I said already, the helmet cam, which you're seeing here. So perhaps in a future video I will be having a race in first person. So in terms of audio, I don't think it's moved on so much from MXGP. I mean, it's okay, but it's still, you've got that rev limiter, which is quite annoying. Of course, if you use manual transmission, of course you will, I guess, alleviate a lot of that sort of revving on the rev limiter, which can become a bit annoying. But overall, you know, it's good fun, this game. It's tricky to get to grips with. So just getting that jump a little bit wrong there. You can see losing momentum on the AI rider there, which is good. Not a lot of dust kicked up by the bikes, I've noticed. But you know, this is prior to the day 1 patch again, so who knows what this game will be like once the patch has gone out. So tricky left-hander this. Again, you can see the AI making contact with me, so good close racing. And you know, with a bit of contact you don't fall off the bikes, which is good to see, but when you do get a turn wrong, or you know, if you lean in too much, if you do something that's your fault, you know, you can come off the bikes, which is good to see. But I don't think you can come off the bikes if you case a jump. I haven't actually done that yet, so you know, it's I mean, that's not such a bad thing. You do lose momentum, that's the key thing. You know, you do lose speed should you case a jump, so that's good to see. There's indoor stadiums and outdoor stadiums. Of course, this is the official Supercross game, so you will have all the official bikes, riders, all the official gear, all the official tracks. So we'll be checking out some more tracks in future videos. And let us know if you want to see 250 bikes as well. These are the 450s, the more powerful stuff. You know, I find with 250s, you know, with 450s you can power through a lot of these turns. With 250s it's probably a little bit more technical, because you know, you can't go so far on the jumps, so you will have to back off a lot more jumps than you would with the 450s. You know, when you do make the step up from 250s to 450s, you know, it's quite a big jump, so it can take you back a little. So you know, it is a big step up. But of course, when you start the game, the career mode, you will be on the 250s, which sort of gives you a nice gentle introduction to the game. You know, before you sort of switch to the 450s, which are pretty brutal, has to be said. So you can see the bike sort of squirming around there, and you can see the AI rider just breezing past me as I get it wrong, which is what we want to see. We want to see the AI go past when we do make mistakes. So I'd say for, you know, reasonably decent players, I'd say the hard AI is going to be challenging enough. Experienced players will have the realistic option, which should hopefully be challenging enough. So it's his right-hander, bit of contact there. So that was it for now. If you want to check out the non-commentary version, do have a look at the Team VV Games channel, and we'll have more on Monster Energy Supercross coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching.
Well, how do you like it?